I was just talking with Assembly Member Gloria, and we were here for the groundbreaking, the community meetings, and the Council Member Chris Ward, who's been such a staunch advocate for what this station means to this community. And so it is great to be here today as we celebrate this grand opening. It's beautiful. It's terrific. Where's Rob Quigley, our architect, designer? I know Rob's never always hiding in the back. Rob, what a great job. Just who else? Yeah, Bob, good to see you. Well, let's just say here, and thank you. It's great to see so many of our community neighbors that are here, our city staff and team that has been so proud of what this station represents and the other stations that we've been working on. This is a great morning, not just for this neighborhood, but for the entire city as we are making these investments in our station. So welcome to the brand new Fire Station number 5, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be here. As I said, with us is State Assembly Member Todd Gloria, our Council Member Chris Ward, of course, our brand new Fire Chief Colin Stoll. Chief, it's great. Second week on the job, new fire station. I like it. And everybody who has been tireless dedication for this investment. Look, fire stations are incredibly important part of our neighborhood, and we appreciate the relationships that our firefighters have with our community. They're part of the heart and soul of San Diego, out here protecting us day and night, 24/7. And to see the smile and the pride on their faces. We have some folks that have been retired from the fire rescue department here as well to celebrate. I think it just shows the fabric of San Diego coming together. This is the 5th new fire station to open since I took office, and the 3rd that we've opened just this summer. We have made investing in public safety improvements a top priority over the last several years. And we're seeing the results of those investments with new state-of-the-art fire stations like this one. It's all about better serving the public. And Chief, as we have talked about the momentum, and we're not going to stop here, we're going to keep going. And the fact that Chief Stoll takes over a department that is second to none in the region, particularly because of our brave men and women and projects like this that make a difference to the residents that we served. Look, this Fire Station 5, as I think many of you know, we were just talking about, went into service here in Hillcrest in 1951. It served this community well. It was an integral part of this neighborhood, but it was past its prime. It was time for a new station. And we needed to build a new facility, a modern facility, that our firefighters that work here could better serve Hillcrest and the surrounding neighborhoods. This beautiful new building is more than 10,000 square feet. And it includes 2.5 apparatus bays, 9 dormitories, a kitchen, a day room, washroom, exercise room and lounge, and a solar installation that will help power the facility and contribute to our climate action plan goals. The bay houses Engine 5, a battalion chief vehicle, and a utility vehicle. And with all of our new facilities, this station has design elements that protect our firefighters from the carcinogens that they are exposed in during their daily work. So again, I want to thank our Public Works team and our staff and a design team who had a hand in building this facility and designing this facility. They love it. They love working on projects that make a difference in our city. We are investing, the collective we, each year more and more in infrastructure and neighborhood services, with a record $559 million going to capital improvements this fiscal year alone. And we're seeing real results with projects like this one. New fire stations are just one of the many ways that we are working to boost public safety in the neighborhoods that need it the most. In 2015, we built the city's first new fire station in 7 years in Mission Valley. And since then, the communities of City Heights, La Jolla, Little Italy, Mira Mesa, North Park, South Crest, Point Loma, and now Hillcrest have gotten a new or a renovated fire station. These are important investments that make sure that we meet our public safety needs well into the future. So I'm proud to be here with so many of you today. Proud to say thank you to, as I said before, buildings are beautiful. This one is beautiful. But to say thank you to our brave men and women in the fire rescue department who have now the facilities and the equipment that they need to do their job. This building does exactly that. And this has been a collective and a team effort. As I said, as I was thinking back to when we appropriate the money, when we say this has to happen. And you would think it's easy to build fire stations. It's not, believe me. But when we have the community support, we have everybody that understands how important this is, we have elected leaders and officials that realize that this is the right thing that we need to do, it makes it go a whole lot smoother. And so with that, I'd like to represent the council member for this area who understands how important these investments are. Please give a warm welcome to Council Member Chris Ward, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody, and good morning. I want to thank you all so much for coming out, for the community coming out here to see the grand opening of Fire Station 5, the state-of-the-art facility, 10,700 square feet, 2 stories, to have the necessary staff and tools to be able to deliver quality public safety services to the Hillcrest and greater uptown communities. Fire Station number 5 is the second fire rescue facility to come online in District 3 this year. It's a welcome addition to our community. It's a beautiful addition to our community. Thank you, Rob, for you and your team and all the contractors that helped to keep this on time and on budget and really stay true to the community's input of what we wanted to see integrated into the fabric of University Avenue. My staff and I are going to continue to work fiercely for advocating for projects like this, and we have many more in the pipeline. I want to thank Mayor Faulconer, Assemblymember Gloria, Chief Stowell, Wendy Robinson, all the city staff that made today possible and kept this project on task. It's because of this collaboration that we are seeing great infrastructure projects move forward. And as you heard the mayor say, just like across the rest of the city, District 3 is receiving the largest boost to infrastructure projects that we've ever seen in modern times. So I'm very excited, and my staff is very excited to continue to keep that momentum going forward, working with our residents and business community here to identify additional community priorities. And once again, I want to thank you all for coming out here, and I want to thank the Fire Rescue Department for opening this and making this an open house to the Hillcrest community. I hope you will join me to get to see these wonderful facilities and the living quarters and the great spaces that we have here. This was a 65-year-old building beforehand, and it was woefully out of date. And so to have this new addition here in the heart of the Hillcrest community, I know is going to be able to help serve us in the ways that we need to make sure our neighborhoods are well protected. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Chris. And certainly somebody who was a driving force to get this station up, running. As I said, we were here for the groundbreaking a little bit ago, obviously, who understands how important infrastructure is and doing the right thing. Assemblymember Todd Gloria, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Councilmember Ward. And look at this turnout for our fire station. Do we love public safety in San Diego? I think that we do. I want to thank the mayor and the council member and, of course, our fire chief for the invitation to be here today. As was mentioned, Mayor Faulconer and I had an opportunity to work on this when we were council members together, and as he was mayor and I served on the council to get this project done. Nothing worth doing is ever easy or quick, right? And this project is an example of that. But I think it was worth waiting for. This fantastic station is so many positives for the Uptown and Hillcrest community. I think first and foremost is that it is a facility worthy of our heroes. I think for those of you who have come to the old Fire Station 5, you know that the cramped, outdated quarters they lived in before wasn't befitting of people who run into burning buildings on our behalf, who answer the call on our behalf. And so we finally have something that really shows, I think, the admiration we have as a community for our firefighters. And I'm grateful that this building, as was mentioned by the mayor, is healthier for our firefighters, allows them to operate more efficiently and effectively. It respects their quality of life. For folks who go to work from 24-hour shifts, multiple days at a time, I think this is the least that we can do, is to give them nice living facilities, a top-notch place to work out of, because we all benefit. And that's the second piece. We know that Fire Station 5 serves far more than just Hillcrest. For long before the Mission Valley Station was built, it served the better part of the valley as well. And so these folks who work out of this facility have to run all over town, and the fact that they're able to do that in a more efficient, effective, and healthy manner means that we're safer. And that's certainly worthy of the investment. And last but not least is the fact that I know in this community, as I see all the friendly faces from all the folks who've labored in our neighborhood for so very long, you have one very rule for certainly Chris now, but I was your council member, which is that you don't build anything ugly in District 3, right? And thanks to Rob Quigley, we did not do that here. You have a beautiful facility that matches the aesthetic and the sensibilities of Hillcrest. We wouldn't accept any old suburban fire station here in Hillcrest. We want something that really adds to the avenue, and that's what we have here with this fantastic design. And for those of you that shared your concerns many years ago with me, it is not red and yellow. It is not the color you were concerned about. We went a different way, and that really shows, I think, that City Hall listens to folks, and we try and respond as best as we can. I just want to say very much thank you to the men and women of our fire service who will work out of this facility for decades and decades to come. You are our heroes. We appreciate you, and we thank you. To the city staff, so many of whom are here, thank you for your service. You know, the guys with the badges, and the guys and the gals with the badges and the uniforms, they get a lot of attention. But I'm grateful to the folks in the finance department who write the checks, the folks in the engineering department who make sure the project works. The list goes on of the number of city employees that touch and make this possible. All of them are unsung heroes, and all of them are appreciated. And last but not least is the members of the community, many who are up here and over there, who take a seat, it's fine. To the members of the community, this community is one of the best in the nation simply because you all are so very involved. As I look around at people from the planning group to the town council, we appreciate what you do. And lastly, to the mayor and to Councilmember Ward, thank you for your leadership on public safety. I was grateful to kick this thing off a number of years ago. I was committed to seeing it get done, and thank God Chris Ward and Mayor Faulconer helped get it done. Guys, good job, congratulations, and thank you all very much. What a wonderful day for Hillcrest and for Uptown. Thank you, guys.
Hold on. Thank you, Assembly Member. Later this week, Chief Stoll and I are going to be talking about canyon fires and what we can be doing to prevent them, as we see all the canyons right here in this community. It is something that not only will this fire station help, but again, that the dedicated apparatus and our men and women. A gentleman that certainly has hit the job running on day one. It was quite a day when we swore him in. We couldn't swear him in because we keep having station calls, but please give a warm round of applause for our Fire Rescue Chief, Colin Stoll. Chief?
Well, thank you and good morning. Thank you for being here. Well, what a great day to rededicate this Fire Station 5 to the community of Hillcrest and Uptown. In our efforts of expanding our ability to provide the best emergency services to our residents and to our visitors. As the mayor mentioned, this station was originally built in 1951 at the cost of $52,000 and was in dire need of a complete tear down and a rebuild. The crews here at Fire Station 5 last year ran over 2,500 calls last year. And so far this year, the first 6 months, they're set at a pace to outdo that number as well. So it's a very busy area and much in need of a new station to improve their ability to be able to provide that service. The road to get this station remodeled has taken many years of a dedicated fire rescue team. And now today, we see the results of that with a state-of-the-art station. I want to again thank Mayor Faulconer and the members of City Council for their continued support and investment in the infrastructure for public safety, and for always placing the highest priority in ensuring our residents receive the best emergency services possible. I'd also like to recognize the Public Works team, the dedicated fire rescue team, as well as the architect, Bob Quigley. Thank you very much for this amazing building. We're very fortunate here today for that. So again, I want to thank you, and I want to thank a lot of the members. I will not call them old faces. I will call them familiar faces. But it is so great to see so many people who we spent so many years together in a much smaller, closed, cramped quarters. But what a great day to see this, and again, so nice to see all of you. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. And Chief just mentioned some of our fire rescue personnel over the years that have been part of not only the station, but, and I see, as he's always hiding in the back, our former Chief, Javier Manor. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a retired member of the Fire Rescue Department, raise your hand, just so folks can see in the back, the folks that are, look at all this. People that are 50, $1,000 in the old days. I wish that was the case. But thank you. And last, finally, we have a very special announcement from the Fire Rescue Foundation, who does so much work to support the men and women of our fire rescue department. Here is Wendy Robinson. Wendy?
Good morning. My name is Wendy Robinson. I'm the Executive Director of the San Diego Fire Rescue Foundation. I am joined here today by several of my board members. I'd like to just introduce them very quickly. Kevin Leap, our board chair. He's with the New Car Dealers Association. Michelle Corbett, I see her with the San Diego Blood Bank. Rachel Lang, who's joined me up here. David Mulvaney is also one of our newest board members joining us up here. And Andy Thomas with Evans Hotels. These are just a few of the people that I have the pleasure of working with as we work to support our mission of providing enhanced equipment, training, and technology to support the men and women of the Fire Rescue Department. We invest in public safety so the men and women of the Fire Rescue Department are better prepared to protect the citizens and property and environment of San Diego and the surrounding region. I am so pleased today to be joined by two local restaurants who have adopted Station 5, restaurants that are right here in Hillcrest and want to give back so that their station is better resourced. As the largest mutual aid provider in our region, strengthening the resources of an individual fire station means stronger resources for the entire region. So to celebrate its entry into the Hillcrest neighborhood, Poke It teamed up with the Fire Rescue Foundation as part of its public grand opening event on July 7th. The event served as a fundraiser with a portion of the proceeds being donated in support of Fire Station 5. On behalf of the Foundation Board and our firefighters, I'd like to thank Poke It partner Joe Catan, back here. And I look forward to joining our board members shortly. We'll be doing a check presentation with Poke It. So thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Leslie and David Cohen lived in this neighborhood for many years. So when they were ready to launch Tacos Libertad in Hillcrest, they found a way to recognize the city and community they love by donating 100% of the profits from Tacos Libertad to local charities. In March, the Fire Rescue Foundation and Station 5 were selected as their charity of the month. So joining us today for a special presentation are Leslie Cohen. Griffin is joining Grandma today. Operations Manager and Cohen Restaurant Group Jeff Petroff. General Manager David Daniel with a very special check presentation of $3,000 for Station 5.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Griffin, well done. Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming. Now let's make this official. Let's cut the ribbon. This is open house today. Everybody take a look around this beautiful building, and any of us will be happy to answer any questions one-on-one. Let's make it official. Come on over. Ready?